Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Thursday morning live card making. My name is Alisa Tilsner. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. It is Thursday, the 29th of August. If you are watching live, if you are watching on the replay, welcome as well and hello. We are going to be playing with the Winterly Treetops again this week because I'm going to follow along with a colour challenge and also a sketch that I've seen on Pinterest. I forgot which platform it was. It was just a card. It wasn't a sketch, but I always get people who tell me, I feel bad because I'm copying other people all the time. Don't feel bad. That's what we do. We get inspiration from others and to create our own cards. And a lot of the time our cards become our own anyway. So it's fine to case others. It's what we're all here for. We love sharing our card making. And if you can get inspiration from that, then I say go for it. So hello, everyone. Welcome, Lynn, Sherry, Leanne. Judith is here as well. Perfect. Okay, so you may have seen in the comments, I have asked, am I going to do watercolouring or Stampin' Blends? Let me show you the stamp set. Then I'll show you the colour challenge because that may sway your mind. So I'm going to do, oops, there we go. The double birds here, I'm going to do this one. And the colour challenge is, let me just get that graphic up. The colour challenge is Peach Pie, Garden Green and Pebbled Path. So the first question is, am I going to watercolor? Am I going to watercolor or am I going to use my blends? Bear in mind, let's get rid of that. Bear in mind that there's no leaves on here, so there won't be any green. It'll probably just be Pebbled Path and the peach. So that's great. Yeah, I agree, Leanne. Leanne says it's a great feeling when someone makes a card inspired by something I've made. I totally agree. Yeah, I feel proud that somebody's liked my work enough that they want to recreate it. So I don't mind at all. Okay, what do we got? Deb says watercolor. So I'll either be using the fluid watercolor paper and or the Whisper White. Basic white. Okay, I know it's difficult decision, difficult. Let me get the camera swung around so I can give you a quick overview of what I've got out. So I've got the Winterly Treetops. Oh, I should show you the sketch that I found as well. Well, the card that I found. This may sway your mind as well. So this is the layout that I want to use. I'm not going to use flowers. So in the place of the flowers, I'm going to be using the birds. I am going to have the white birch folder embossed. I'm going to do that square frame out of the Pebbled Path. I'm thinking I am going to either have, depends, I think I'm going to have the green circle and the little flags will be done in the peach. And I'm thinking for that strip of designer series paper that she's got across there, there's some garden green paper. I love garden green. There's some garden green paper in the Nests of Winter, which matches the stamp set, the paper. I'm going to use that. And she's got a tiny bit of really dark grey underneath that paper, but I think I'll leave that off. So that might give you a little bit of an indication of whether to watercolour or use blends as well. Okay, let me just get rid of that. Okay, and come back to the comments. Okay, all is well in SA, Chris. It's actually a beautiful day. Okay, watercolor. Okay, I'm going for watercolor. Let's get that done straight away then so I can let it dry. I have got fluid paper. Hang on, I'm getting myself in a little thingy here because I have so much going on. Let me shift all that out of the way. So I'm using watercolor paper, Fluid 100, which is a cotton paper. And I think I will get out the Dubaflicky machine-y thing. And I've got, because we are with rubber, I was like, yes, it's rubber. I can use my stays on. I don't have to emboss it. And I have got my stamp cleaning scrub And my mist, I still have this. I still use it. So if you've still got this one, it's great for getting rid of. Actually, I wonder if I do need, I re-inked it this morning, but I'm just wondering whether I should, I've got enough in there to fit that. Yes, I will. Okay, and then I will, don't worry about me, I talk to myself sometimes. I'm just going to get that so that I can clean my block after. All right, let's get the retired Stamparatus out. I really wish they didn't retire this, but anyway, it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. Still use it. If you've, you know what they should do? If we can't have this, they should bring back, oh, I wonder if that'll be too close. They should bring back our Stampin' Majig. I've still got my Stampin' Majig too. All right. So hopefully, one for blends. Mira, I have done one on blends already. I'll show you a quick card. So I have done that one with blends already, and there's actually a video on YouTube on how I coloured that one in as well. So this one will be a little bit different. I haven't watercoloured this one yet. Oh, look at that. I did ink that up really, really nicely. But if I push that in, that way I can get a fairly deep black look to it. No, don't need to restamp it again. So I'm just going to take it off and I'm going to put it on a block. And that way I can give it a quick scrub straight away. Obviously, I need to clean my cleaner. But the great thing about that is if you clean it straight away, all that stays on comes off of your rubber. I do love rubber. I do love rubber. I just need to get rid of that, wipe that off. There we go, nice and clean. So don't dismiss the good old original cleaner. I have got so much. I need to clean my table off, everything off, and wipe it down. There is just paper dust everywhere. And probably dust. Shouldn't tell you my grubby little secrets, should I? My grubby crafting secrets. Okay. Get you out of it. Okay, so what do I need? I didn't actually get anything out because I didn't know what I was going to be doing. So I didn't get any blends or I didn't get anything out for this one. But I need a water brush. One, I need one of them. Make sure that we've got that clean. I think I'm going to do, is that the right one that I use? I think I'm going to do minimal pebble path. I'm trying to get my words out. Minimal pebble path and a fair bit of the peach. So let me grab them out. Peach and pebble path. Now pebble path I really, really like. And I'm going to do the trunk in the branches in that as well. Now, just a little tip, if you are watching via YouTube and you are on a mobile device, you can pinch your screen and zoom in if you wish. So I'm going to start off with my light colours first, I think, because I know that Pebble Path is a pretty rich colour. And do I have a re-inker? That is the question. Yes, I do. Sometimes with these lighter colours, it's easier to put re-inker in here. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of water in here and make it into quite the puddle. And then we are just going to start lightly. I always work differently when I work with watercolour. I always go light to dark, whereas when I work with the blends, I tend to go dark to light. I'd rather build up my colour with the watercolour. So I've just, I don't want to put too much on. I want to sort of leave a little bit of a white space there as well. So just by brushing off my, oh, I've got a little black on there. I don't want to pick up that dark color. There we go. I need to get some new. So by just wiping all that off and basically making it water, I can feather that right out. Okay, and we'll do the other little guy while we're here. So this one won't be as sloppy as last week's watercoloring. That was a pretty quick one. I think I'm going to actually spend a little bit of time doing these guys. And I also want to do the little berries. So welcome if you are just joining. I have a thing. I struggle to talk and color at the same time. I don't know why. So if I go quiet, it's because of that. Okay, so there's my first layer down, nice and light. So now I'm going to grab my re-inker, just because it is such a light color. It's just easy to pop a re-inker drip in the lid. If you wanted to, you could put it straight onto your glass mat and pick up from there. And if you wanted to, you could put it in the little tray that comes with it. You could put a little drop and then just pick up your colour from there as well. You could do that. So, and then you just use your chamois and clean it all up afterwards. Okay, so now I'm just going to pull a little bit of that colour out into that slushy puddle that I already had. And I'm going to work from this little bit of area that's a little bit darker. So from the beak and I sort of just flick it out as well. And I'm going to go under his wing, wipe off my brush until it comes clear again. And then I'm just going to run that water over the edge of that line and blend that out. Blend that into the lighter so you can sort of see how it sort of graduates. Now, again, if you're just joining me and you are on YouTube and you're on a mobile device on YouTube, you can pinch the screen and zoom in. If you're also watching on the replay, you can do that as well. You can zoom in. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more color so we can do the other bird. So start from the back of his beak and flick that out. And then under the wing around here. Okay, wipe off all that color and then over that line again. And then I can fade that down. And then we've just got that little bit of a white belly going on. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a little bit to the berries. Which will take me a little bit longer. And I'm just doing the bottom sides of these berries. And I've just got a real sharp point on my brush here. And I'm just dipping just the tip into the ink. So that sort of gives me a nice little natural glow. I'll bring this up to the screen. So rather than having to come in with a gel pen or anything, it's got that little highlighted space there already. Little two-tone berries. Okay, so I will just bring that up. Yes, I am working on watercolor paper. I am, and I have stamped with StazOn. These stamps are red rubber so that we can do that. And that way we can keep them nice and clean, our stamps. So on fluid watercolor paper. Okay, and I reckon I'm just going to add a tiny bit more to the birds, I reckon. So I'm just going to come full strength into that re-inker, and I'm just going to pop a little bit under his wing here and a tiny bit just around his beak again, wipe everything off and just gently blend that because I don't want it to lose its intensity. Okay, and again with this one here. So just a tiny bit around his beak and then under his wing. Okay, wipe off and just real gently. Okay, I'll bring that up. And again, if you wanted to, you could go back and put an extra little dot into the berries if you want to make them darker. You see how under his wing now he's got a little bit more depth, and just around his beak there's a little bit more depth as well. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with that because I do want to keep this a fairly light, bright card, even though we've got Pebbled Path going on in it. I sort of want to keep it on the brighter side than the darker side, and because we have got Pebble Path and we have got Garden Green, and those two are very strong dark colors, sort of around the same value, we sort of want to keep it fairly light still. Okay, now this is a extremely messy ink pad for me, so I have got mess going on. I've got dribbles of, look at that, I've got dribbles of cards ink. It has taken me forever to get it clean, and I don't really want to muck it up, so I'm just going to bring that color in. I'm going to cheat. And yes, Nicole, I am. You missed the beginning of it. I shared the graphic. So for those, I'll share it again. For those who have just joined, I am following along with the Color Inspirations color challenge, and I'm using this card that I found on Pinterest as my layout. So that's what I am doing. So oops, I've got to get rid of that, don't I? Get rid of that, come back to that. Hello from Japan. Lovely. Okay, so I want to go very lightly with these feathers here on his wings, I should say, his wings and his tail. So I can never work out whether that's part of his tail as well, but I'm going to colour that in, otherwise it's just sort of hanging off the edge there. So, and then, and I'm probably not going to come in and do anything darker with that. And so now you can see why I did my light first, because my nib is totally dark. Okay, and then the branches, and make sure when you do that, because I've been yakking a little bit, it has allowed the peach to dry. So just be mindful if you are working on your own and you're not yakking. Look, there's a little bit of his tail. Look, there's a little bit of tail down there too. If you are working on your own, you're obviously not gathering on as much as I am. So just make sure you allow that to dry so that you don't bleed any of this darker grey brown into the mix. I am going to keep this color. You know, this is an in color, and I am really hoping that one day it comes back as a core neutral or a core regals. So just do a wee bit now that that's dried. I'm not bringing in the intensity, like I'm not bringing in a dripper. I'm just doing an extra layer, so it won't be as harsh as if I brought in and made it like a more solid color, if you get what I mean. Like I could bring up the intensity by putting a re-inker drip in there and using that, but I'm just going to keep it soft, and I'm just going to add layers instead of adding intensity, if you know what I mean. Build it up that way, and his beak really fine. We don't want that to bleed into our peach pie. Okay, so there we have. I will bring him up to the screen. I am pretty happy with the way that's gone. Make sure you give your brush a good clean off as much as you can, so that next time when you come to use it, you don't have brown all over it. Okay, so we're going to set him aside to dry. So that didn't take too long, I hope. I'll bring him up to the screen. So even though we've got dark colours in there, he's still fairly fresh and light. So if you wanted to, you could grab your Posca, give it a really good shake, and you could test it out first. Make sure you could always come in. Watch out for that little finger on any wet spots that you've got. You don't want to drag that. You could just come in with a little highlight dot on these two. It's not showing up overly bold because I've already left white space on there. So you could do that if you wanted to as well. Okay, let's put you aside and to dry because we don't want to go die cutting. Do you know what I did last week? And I'm going to have to clean. Remind me before I use my embossing folder, my die cutting machine, to clean the plate, because last week when we did that card, which I think I've got it in my room anyway, last week when we did that card, and I did that watercoloring, the sloppy watercoloring last week, I didn't clean the top plate. It wasn't dry, and then the next time I went to use my die cutting machine, it transferred. Transferred ink. I'm like, why is there faint pink splotches on my card? Well, it's because I stuffed up. Okay, so now one thing I'm going to remind you that I'm not going to be giving oh, hello. Oh, I've said hello to Sarah. Good morning, Marilyn. I think I said hello to everyone else. But before I do this, I'm just going to pop this down here. I don't give measurements as we create because a lot of the time I change them. But if you would like to have the card that we are making today and the card that we make every Thursday, head on over to alisatilsner.com. You can sign up to my newsletter, and then this card that we are creating today will head out as a written PDF. It'll have all the measurements, all the products that we've used, all that stuff, so you don't have to worry about jotting everything down. Okay, so I'm going to have that. I am going to do, I want the square. Oops, throwing things away. I do need you as well, so we're going to grab the square and I'm going to make him that size. So this is how I sort of sometimes plan everything out. So I've got my square going on there, and I need my two little banners. These are going to be massive because I'm going to make it into a thank you card. So they're going to be too big. So I think I will, that may even be still too big. I may have to use the little baby one. Bearing in mind that this isn't true. I should pull this out, shouldn't I? That's not true size. Oh, I think still it will be the baby one. So I need you, and I need a circle, but I'm going to use a different die set for the circles. I am going to use the Spotlight on Nature. I shouldn't have put that away because I'm not going to put these. I'm going to use Spotlight on Nature, and I think I'm going to use this one here, because he will fit nicely behind there and he will fit nicely on there. Okay, I've got all my dies out. So we're going to do embossing and die cutting. Righty-o. Because I might end up trimming that front panel down because they had theirs trimmed down fairly well. Okay. Let's get the big shot in, and we can, the big guy, not the big shot, the big machine, and we can do all of this at the same time. Alrighty-o. So while I am doing this, I'm going to chat to you about a few things that I have got coming up, and I'm just going to put these little graphics up that I made a little while ago. So Creative Card Makers Club is a monthly club. It's a PDF version club so that you can, I'm just embossing here in the background, by the way. so that you can subscribe to this, and you get PDF. We're actually using, I'll show you at the end, cards from that we're playing with today. And along with that, I'll have a Winterly Treetops class, whereas if you purchase the bundle and the paper, I will send you a free card kit and you'll get the instructions. I have Creative Carnival, which is our demo-only retreat, and that closes on the 31st of August. Now, I'm going to get rid of that now. We are, for Creative Carnival, we are looking to do a live carnival in March and taking it on stage, and it will be very limited seats for that, and we will be offering them to Creative Carnival people first. So it's an online retreat for demonstrators, and you know, we get together on Zoom, we create cards and that you can use in your own classes. They are a lot of fun. We've been doing them since 2021. Can't believe that. Makes me feel old. So those are all the things that are ending soon. I've also got a paper share, and I've also got what do you want to call it? Paper share and Stamp by Mail as well. I'm forgetting them all. I did do a video on Monday. So if you're looking for, you know, why doesn't that fit? So if you're looking for everything that I'm running at the moment, there's like 5 things, but there's a few things that are ending very soon. So that's why I'm plugging those ones first. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my frame separately, just because. Let's run them through. Now, for that little flag, that little banner there, I will cut that in half, so I won't even cut 2 of them. So I won't worry about cutting 2 of them. I'll just cut that in half. And then I've got my garden green circle. I love. Oh, my son, he hasn't, thank you for asking. My son is an arm wrestler. He's still training. He comes in the other day. They do this, I can't show you on the screen because obviously I'm not in the right section, but they do, it's not a bicep curl. He picks up this massive amount of weight, and instead of curling it like a bicep curl, like up and down, it's like a rotating like that. So it rotates, it keeps this part of your arm strong, and your forearm, and also I think a bit of shoulder, because you're rotating like that. Anyway, he comes out and he said, oh, you know, I've been stuck at 60 kilos, Mum. I'm just like, okay, so he's with one arm, he's rotating 60 kilos. And so he went off. He's a bit disappointed because he's stuck at that weight. And then he comes back out. He's been lifting for a little bit, and he comes back out and he goes, oh, guess the number. And I went, oh, I don't know, 70. And he goes, 72 kilos. He just pronated this grip thing. And then he comes back out, and I think he did 80 kilo. I'm just like, holy crap. So he hasn't been to Adelaide for a little while. 72 kilo. I think he got up to 80 kilo. Anyway, he's crazy. He's crazy strong. And he's always like, here, Mum, help me arm wrestle. I'm like, oh, as if. So he's a funny boy. Anyway, so he has to go to Adelaide for uni to finalise his last subjects. And oh, I need to die cut don't put that away yet. I need to die cut. So he's got to go to Adelaide, and he's going to book in at the end of October. So he's going to book in for another wrestling competition then. So, yeah. And then I guess he'll look at moving to Adelaide full time. So, because he won't be able to get a job as a software engineer here in Port Lincoln. So he'll be off to Adelaide at some stage. next year, I assume. So I told my husband, be prepared for it. He's going. So we don't want him to go, but I said, you know, we've done our job. We've done our parenting job. It's time. I mean, he's only 23, so all right. Last little bit of die cutting. Sorry, guys. I feel like I've been waffling a bit. So Adelaide is either a 7-hour drive for us, or a 45-minute flight that costs over $400. That's stupid, and that's even booking a month out. If you aren't able to, like, say if I wanted to fly to Adelaide tomorrow because something's come up and I need to get to Adelaide, it would cost me between $400 and $600 one way. It is stupid. Yes, everyone has to leave the nest at some stage, don't they? I guess that's, you know, just hope that you've done your job right. And all right, I hope I've got this in the right spot. Okie dokie. Oh, I think I've not cut him out very well. Not the best die cutting job. Not the best. I might leave that. I might. Oh, I hate it when that happens. But do you know what? I have a little trick. If I can get it off the mat. There we go. All right. I have a little thing that I do when that happens. Oh, it's a dreadful cost. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know why it has to be that way. They've got the monopoly. That's probably the problem, that they've got the monopoly. We only have 2 airlines, and the other one tried to go bigger and then went into receivership. So whilst they're still flying at the moment, I wouldn't trust them to be flying soon. Okay, so now I've cut this guy out, but I've mucked up. I haven't cut him out properly. It's probably because I'm talking so much today. So what I normally do in that instance is I just grab my scissors and I just trim and make it not so obvious. Oh, I nearly cut the back of the other one's head off. That's really bad. Shocking. So just trim him up ever so slightly. You don't have to do all of it, just in the places that look a little bit out of place. So there we go. He doesn't look so bad now. So if that happens to you, don't fret too much. I could probably do a little bit off the tail here because that's a little bit obvious. Just anywhere where it's a little bit too wide. You know, it makes it look like, oh, she did a terrible job die cutting. So there we go. That'll be fine. No one will ever know. And because it's only little bits, it's not like you're spending all that time fussy cutting. Okay, let's look at where we are at. So I've got that piece there. In the original one, this was a lot smaller, so I think I may come back on my frame. I'll have my circle, which is looking a little bit big compared to the frame, but I do have that. Might be able to shift. See, this is where you go, okay, well, I've got all the elements, but I may have to shift things around to suit my own needs. I may have to shift. And then she also had some, I've got my little banners, and then she also had some designer series paper. She had a different pattern. I don't know what she had. That's not going to fit. But I will grab, oops. There we go, the stripes. See how it's starting to look heavy? Because the garden green and the pebble path is a heavy card. So, but I do have to remember that I'm bringing this back in. So I'm going to trim this down, and I perhaps won't have it as wide as well. And I think the other thing that I like to do is when you find a card that you like, somebody else's card that you like. Hey, Joan and Rebecca. What I tend to do is I'll look at the layout, I'll look at the card, I'll work out what elements I like of it, but then I won't look at it again. Like I could bring it up on the screen and go, oh, okay, so she's got it right here and she's got it right here. But if you sort of memorize where the basic elements were and then make the rest of it your own, you're tending to not look back at it, if you know what I mean. So let me just get my ruler out. I can always take off, but you can't put back on. So let me start with this. Okay, Wendy says, I really like that you use the less popular color combos. Oh, this one was chosen for me. Well, it wasn't chosen for me. I chose to do it. Yeah, she says she has a tendency to use the same 3 colors together, and she wouldn't have put these colors together. Well, you know what? I probably would not have put these colors together either, but I saw that color challenge and I was like, And it, you know, and it depends again. Like I'm going to use very minimal pebbled path in here, but I've got a lot of green. So there's a lot going on. Now, what I could do, which I might do, let me try this, because it is on the heavy side and I do want it light and airy. What I can do is, let me make that just a wee bit. And of course, I saw somebody's lovely creation just before I came on. Somebody had posted a beautiful card using the same stamp set that I'm using, and hers was so bright and airy and light because she'd used a lot of the peach in her combination. So, but I really want to use the paper. So by popping that little bit of peach under there, and that little bit, see how it's just lifted that up, and because I can see through this frame, it's keeping, like it's not blocking all of that out as well. So I can do that. The other thing that I can do, I've got to do my sentiment as well, which I think I will do on white to lift it as well. The color challenge, Nicole Wilson, are you still watching, babe? Do you want to put up the link to the, do you want to put the link up to the group? It's a Facebook group. I'll bring up the photo, and because the name is on it, Color Inspiration. There's a Facebook group and you can go and join that, and they have the color challenges going on in there. So there's lots of, yep, Nicole, if you want, if you're available, if you can, if you want to pop up the group, the link to your group. Nicole is, are you part of the group? You're a designer for it, aren't you? Okay, so I'm going to do sending thanks. I'm going to do it on white because that keeps it nice and light. Oh, I already got it out, didn't I? And I'm going to stamp it with the pebbled path. Ah, thank you. Oh, okay, cool. So Nicole is in, oh, I've got to get rid of it. Oh, let me get rid of that so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so inking up, I'm going to stamp it in pebbled path. Quite liking that. The other thing that you can do if you want to brighten it up a little more, and I don't want to, I mean, we've been going for nearly 40 minutes anyway, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, but what you can do is stamp just this portion here, or just this portion here, and colour in some more berries, and you can pop them around, and if you colour them in with the peach, that'll lift the card up as well. So I won't do it here because I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I think I might go, when I pop it all together, I will leave it so that I can do that, if you know what I mean. And I will go back in and add some extras. Cool. Thank you. But also, if you search colour inspirations, and colour is spelt the English way. I'm debating whether to fussy cut these or to leave them like that. So I'll just give myself a little bit of room. So what I've been doing, I made a few of the cards for the Creative Club, and I've left these little bits here, and I've actually used them on other cards. Like I've just had the much love on other cards. So, but let me trim this to what it is first, and then I will decide whether I want to go on fussy cut. Well, I've got to put the banners behind it, so I may not be able to fussy cut them. Hello, Rebecca. All right. Man, I need to get my eyes checked. All right, sending thanks. So we're going to pop that there, and we've got our two little banners that will go. So I'm going to be brave. I'm going to cut it in half. And when I say that I'm being brave, it's because I can't cut straight. See, told you. I can't cut straight. And I even have the little dots that I could follow, and I still couldn't cut it straight, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to see it. Oh, gosh. Okay, so let me pop these behind here first, and then we can get onto our assembly. So I think I want to put... I'll put one sort of in the middle-ish, but not really. It's just a little bit off. And then we'll put the other one a little bit longer so that they overlap a little bit. Sending thanks. So we'll have something like that. Very cool. Okay, now, do I want to cut down? I don't think I do. I think I will leave it. She had cut hers down, so this was a smaller panel, but I think I will leave it that size. So you can use the embossed side or the debossed side. You can have your wood grain going up or down, or vertical. So you could have your wood grain going that way if you wanted to, up and down. Debossed looks pretty cool too. So it's quite a good versatile embossing folder, and it's one of those massive big embossing folders as well. So I'll just give you a sneak peek of, and this is really getting out of the color zone from what I have been creating. So these are the cards that we've got for club. So I've done 3 in the cabana and daffodil, and then I did 3 in cherry cobbler and garden green. So I love that one. So they are the cards for next month's club. Now, if you want to be a part of that, you have until the 31st of August to sign up for that. All the details are on my blog, but I can put links in the description. And along with that, if you happen to purchase if you're in Australia, so that one, because it's PDF, it's available to anyone. But if you do want to go ahead and purchase the I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this lined up. If you want to go ahead and purchase the bundle and the paper, you can use your own bling. Then I will send you the card kit to create those 6 cards. And if you are part of the club already, I will actually refund you that month's membership fee as well. All right, so I want to put this, I'm thinking I want to put this towards the bottom area, not in the middle. So we'll get you stuck down. Then we'll get this guy stuck down. Oh, it's going to be my... Oh, do I dare? Do I dare? Thank you, Karen. Do I dare to use this one? Maybe if I just dot it. Hello. There we go. It's had a habit lately of just wanting to splurge out everywhere. It wasn't even hot weather, and so of course the nib's all sticky now. I have to give it a good clean. I didn't even have it upside down. It was just like oozing everywhere. It wasn't even a hot day. So, all right. Now I'm going to hold this. Yes, Wendy, if you want, if you only want the 1 month, what I suggest, like I will have it as a standalone, but it's cheaper inside the membership. So if you want to do it that way, you can subscribe to it and then just cancel your membership. Sort of a cheap way. Okay, so I'm going to pop this here. Now, see, now that I've changed, now that, see, I should have thought about it a little bit better. I've put this down further, but now I've got to put this down further because I wanted to be able to see this stripe going through here. So I've sort of just got to rearrange things because I wasn't thinking properly. So I'm going to put this down, and then I might actually put this on the upside of it instead of on the downside. Okay, so sometimes when I go doing things like that, I stuff things up. It's just what it is. All right, so I'm just going to put these blocks down so that I can let that sit, stay, because that's got texture and ripple and all that sort of stuff. There we go. Okay, so let's make sure I've got the back side. I'm going to put the circle up on dimensionals, and I'm going to put the bird up on dimensionals, and then I will have to put the sentiment up on dimensionals, but I will wait until I know whereabouts I'm going to put it. Okay, so let's do that. And then I think I will go back. I'll do it off camera. I'll go back and get a few extra. So I'm going to put that up here a little bit more now. So rather than having it down here, I'm going to pop it up. It's okay. But what I should do is just line you up and work out where you are going to fall. So off camera, when we're finished, I'll go back and just stamp and colour in a few more of those little extra berries. So we're going to have something like this. Okay. And pop you down. And then we'll put this one. So now this one, this has got double height. So if you want this to line up with the height of the birds, you'll need to double mount. If you want it to line up with the height of the circle, just a single mount will be fine. I don't think it really matters. I'm not going to have it sitting right on top of that branch. I'm just going to have it looking like it's sitting on top of the branch, but it's not going to, it shouldn't impact on anything there. So sending thanks. You could even, I don't think it even matters if you do. Oh yeah, it does a little bit. We'll just, there we go. Doesn't pull too badly, but you could double mount that if you wanted to. So I will, so now I've left myself space that I can either put more berries under here, or even under the circle if I wanted to. So I can do that. Okay, embellishments. What are we going to use? Now there are, oh, you know what? I forgot, totally forgot. There's twine that goes with this suite as well, that has got garden green in it. And there's also these guys that go with it as well. A little sneak peek of some embellishments that are coming, so you can use them. Oh, I also got which I quite like these are pecan and clear, but I quite like the clear ones. But what will I do? Green or clear? Green or clear? That is the question. You can pop in your preference if you like. There's another colour, but I don't think they'll match. Oh, no. They're a whitey, off-colour, creamy colour. So should I use these ones? I just have to bear in mind where I would put extra berries. That is all when I put them on. Let's do them. Oh. Okay, well, I think I might just put my bling around here, and then that way I can keep that area for berries. And if you wanted to, you could do a quick wash of Winkestella as well if you wanted to. I might do these ones. There we go. You could put a little wash of Winkestella over the berries or over the birds. Just be careful if your ink decides to bleed a little bit. And we'll put one up here. Wants to be a pain. That third one wants to be a pain. We'll put it up there. There we go. Oh, clear, Rebecca. I raced ahead. I know that there's a bit of a lag as well. I should have held off a little bit. I should have waited just a fraction longer. So, but there we go. So, still reasonably light. You could have made it lighter if you wanted to by putting the circle in peach if you wanted to. There's so many different ways that you can do it. So, oh, shimmery pebble path. Do I even have that? I must have. Oh, I should have looked through my container a little bit more than that, shouldn't I? Oh, that would have been a good one. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go back and pop in. I'll bring back the original. So that was the original. So you can see I've taken elements from it and then turned it into my own. So what I would do, oh, well, I've already explained what I would do. So just look at it, study it, take the bits that you want out of it. Don't look at it again, and then it sort of, becomes your own. So, oops, wait a minute. What have I done? There we go. So there we go. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Awesome. I am going to come back to me for a second. I am going to add some extra berries, and then I will take a photograph of it, and that'll be that. And then I'll post it in the Colour Challenge group. So if you want to have a play along with the Colour Challenge as well, don't forget it's Colour Inkspiration. And I don't join them a whole lot, but I did do the last one and this one. Sometimes I don't see them. They don't come through my feed quick enough, and I've like, would have liked to have done that. But anyway, but this one's got a longer date to get your entries in. I think it's the 7th of September maybe, or maybe the 9th. I can't remember. But anyway, there's nearly 2 weeks to get your entries in for that one. So that's it from me. I think I've told you nearly everything. It's nearly the end of the month. Oh, so many things still going on. Paper special. Don't forget to use your codes if you still have them. In Australia, they end tomorrow. And I think that's it. That's it from me. So we will see you again this time on next Thursday. Until then, take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.